Okay, the syllabus has been sent to you to review, but I want to go over it quickly and talk about the parts. We begin with the instructor's name, which is me, and my name is Dr. Starr. My contact methods include email and conferences. You must use the mailbox in Canvas to send me emails. These are the days that I check emails, so you should be able to get a response fairly soon when you send me questions. Ordinarily, emails that arrive after I've checked my email for the day will receive a response on the next day that I check my email. Please note that I reply personally to emails that concern the student only. If the response to your email requires research, my response may not be given on the next day. However, when the question warrants a response to the whole class, I make an announcement to the whole class. I don't necessarily respond just to you about what you have asked. And if I make a class announcement, this doesn't mean I'm ignoring you. This means that I found your question of such value that everyone might benefit from it. And second is online conferences. These are Mondays and Wednesdays from 2:30 to 3:30. In Canvas, you will click on the conferences spot on the left menu, and then you'll click on the blue link. Online conferences give you time to talk to me about your assignments, and any class member can join these conferences, so there may be a few people contacting me at the same time, and we can all have a chat. Conferences are going to be set to chat mode without video, without sound. Students who wish to use voice mode should ask, and then I will unmute the conference. This is an online class. Students attend when they like, but must complete and submit work by set due dates and times. So something is due at 9 p.m. on a Tuesday. Well, you can turn it in at 2:30 p.m. on a Sunday if you like, if you get your work done that quickly. Or you can turn it in at 8:40 on Tuesday night, or any time in between, but it has to be on time. The online environment can be convenient for people, you can do your homework at 2:30 in the morning if you like, but the online environment requires students to be accountable for their own time. Only take this class if you have your own reliable desktop or laptop computer with good and constant Wi-Fi access and a decent printer. I have on more than one occasion, and much to my surprise, had students attempting to take this class on a smartphone, and they email me and they say, I can't submit my work, and I say, well, tell me about your desktop computer. And they say, oh, I'm doing it on a smartphone. And I say, oh, too bad. Go get a computer. Smartphones are not going to play nicely with these large and cumbersome and, anyway, unwieldy programs. You have to have a substantial machine. Desktop or laptop will do. Tablet, smartphone, not so very much. You may be able to do a couple things with them, but don't expect to be able to enjoy the full content of the course. Don't expect to be able to submit work that satisfies requirements. You're going to need a desktop or a laptop. And you can be on campus for several free hours a few days a week and use one of the computer labs in the library building to do your work. So if you don't have your own desktop or laptop computer, then plan to be on campus and do it that way. Only take this class if you are able to meet all deadlines, study and begin assignments as soon as Canvas gives you access to them. Procrastination is a terrible way to try to do college. Do things in advance, prepare, manage time well. Essays in the portfolio should be started weeks in advance, as soon as you have access to these assignments. Due times for most things, your due times are going to be Tuesdays and Thursdays by 9 p.m. Your course management system and ethical behavior, there's many pieces of information here. Canvas modules are going to include lessons, texts, and videos for both instruction and your analysis, as well as homework discussions and other writing assignments. You need to read and reread all the documents. You need to take detailed notes for the class. You need to watch the videos, pause and replay them, and take detailed notes on the videos. Students are strongly encouraged to print written instructions and highlight them. Believe it or not, however you experience information on screen is not the same way that you experience it when you hold it in your hands. People do not read electronic tablets the same way they read books, and it doesn't matter if you're 60 years old or 15 years old, the human brain works the same. We have vivid memories of live experience, and we do not have vivid memories of lights passing before our eyes on a screen. Your brain will work better if you do things on paper. Okay, so start each task early. If you have questions for me, then you're going to get the best response from me in an email if you study the matter closely yourself and find out precisely where you're going wrong. If you send me an email that says, "I don't understand the assignment, period, send," I will not have any idea what your problem is. I won't know which assignment you are talking about, and I will not know why you don't understand it. And if you send me that kind of an email, we're probably going to go back and forth 7 or 8 times over a period of a week and a half and still not have gotten any clarity about it. That's not to your benefit. It is very much more to your benefit to study the matter closely enough that if you study the matter closely enough, you're probably going to answer your own question, number one, and that's good. That saves you a lot of time. You don't have to wait for somebody to come and talk to you. But if you study the matter closely and you still have some question, then you want to email me with exactly what that question is, exactly what bit of writing in that assignment sheet is causing you trouble. And then I can give you a quick and clear response. Okay, what else have we got here? Information on what the types of work are going to be and how you submit them. There's a lot of information on that, so you want to be clear on it. There's information on how you are supposed to talk to each other online. These days students are actually pretty good at it, but what you may not know is you're not just supposed to be nice, you're also supposed to be helpful. So be clear, be detailed, be supportive, be honest, and give useful explanations and examples, okay? So we're not writing, 3-word responses to one another. This isn't a course in texting. When you respond to each other online, you should be writing in paragraphs, okay? Giving examples, giving descriptions. What else? I maybe should have led with this because a lot of students find this pretty interesting. This course that I am teaching, when I teach English 1A, it is designed to help students consider their career paths and to consider more broadly what place a college education will have in their future. That's the course topic, and that's the kind of research that you'll be doing and the papers that you will be writing. They will have to do with your own career path and what your own career path has to do with getting a college education. So that's the kind of research you'll be doing, that's the kind of writing you'll be doing. Okay, for this class, you do need access to this book called They Say, I Say, The Moves That Matter in Academic Writing. The second edition is available to you free online, and I've got the hyperlink in the course, so you can just open it up. Some students don't like the fact that it's a PDF, and we're looking at like 100 pages all told, and they don't like scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And so sometimes just to avoid scrolling, they'll go and buy the paper book, and that's fine. They Say, I Say, The Moves That Matter in Academic Writing. There are editions 1 through 4 now, and the first 100 pages or so of several of these editions, the first 100 pages, they're almost the same, and that's mostly what we use, so I don't care which edition you get. If you want the paper version, you can get it. And you'll probably value it anyway. Most of my students, they tell me this book is great. They want to keep it, they want to continue to use it for their college work and so forth. So have at it. You can spend money or not spend money. You can have it forever or only have it for a short time. Up to you. You do need 12 hours on average every week for work for this class. So you should pencil that in and defend that 12 hours. Well, I'm not going to say with your life, but defend it with your interest in completing your goals in a timely fashion. You do need to check for Canvas announcements. When I respond to emailed questions, sometimes I respond to your email and give you a private answer, but sometimes your question is something that the whole class could benefit from, and so instead of sending a private email to you, I will instead send out a class announcement. So you need to check those throughout the week, here and there, a few different days, so that you get that information. Even though this is an online class, I strongly recommend a paper notebook and a pen or a pencil for your work for this class. Do some journaling, do some free writing in it. When you gather your resources, your sources for your papers, take your notes in there, summarize your sources in there, write down your research questions in there, do your brainstorming, and do your homework, right? Plan out your homework using that notebook. You will have a much better experience in this class if you have a paper notebook and if you use it a few times each week in preparation for it. Because again, the things that you write down on paper, you are very much more likely to remember than anything you read or write on screen. It's the way the human brain works. Okay. Information here on grading, total points, what the values are for things, what the things are that we will be doing, information on late work. The group assignments can't be late because if they're late, your group is not going to read them. And if they're not going to read them, then it's no use to anybody. So group assignments, and those are weekly. You've got discussions with each other, you've got peer reviews with each other. And those must be submitted on time or they don't get any credit and you don't get any feedback. So group stuff must be done on time. Individual work can be, and that's individual work is going to be things like timed essays, formal essay assignments, similarity evaluations. These can be 23 hours late, but with grade penalties, actually a little bit more. Let's look at it. All solo work, including timed essays, similarity evaluations, and submission of essays in the final portfolio. It's a 10% late penalty if it's less than 24 hours late, and a 20% grade penalty if it's less than 36 hours late. Any solo work that's more than 36 hours late receives a 0. Why? Because then you're just not being considerate of my time, and I would think that you would want to be considerate of my time. Okay, where you stand, I don't know why, but lots of students don't read this. It says for each essay and the portfolio, use Word, double space, use 1-inch margins, 12 point. This is exactly how you format your work. So do that, don't ignore it. Academic honesty, this in italics, the 7.1.1, all of that's in italics, that is directly out of the campus catalog. And it gives you the definition of cheating, and it gives you some examples of what is considered cheating, gives you a definition of plagiarism and some specific examples of what plagiarism constitutes. It tells you what the range of penalties might be for cheating and plagiarism. And then here, 7.1.2 and 3 and 4 give you detailed explanations about what kinds of definitions I have for cheating and plagiarism and how I penalize that, because it is the instructor's prerogative to do that. We have to do that. We have to spell out how we are going to interpret the code and how we are going to manage the class. So there you go. And section 8 is completion of the course, what things you're supposed to be able to do. There's a lovely list of that. Diversity and disability. This course meets requirements for universal design, so everybody should have an easy time using this class, and it should meet your needs for reading and for videos. Should you have any problem with that, please let me know, because that's something I would need to take care of right away. I do close caption my videos. I do tend to use styles features when I put together documents, so again, it should be very easy to navigate and understand for everyone. And that is the syllabus.